And then I want to do a series of signs in sort of like in close proximity as a path. And at this point I also want to step away from the screen for a little bit. Something like this. Okay, so let's talk about programming. Not interested in you. This is actually a lot of work for like what is essentially going to be 5 minutes of preamble. It's actually ridiculous. Okay, so let me do a bit of a run through again. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm going to talk to you about zombies and binary. There's usually like 1 or 2 minutes that I spend beforehand getting people to do crazy stuff. So that occupies 1 or 2 of those minutes, and I'm aiming for half an hour in total. So this talks about zombies and binary. Thank you for doing the crazy thing. Now, before I get like super started, I'd like to thank a couple of people. First, I'd like to thank FluentConf for the opportunity to be here. It's great to be able to talk. I'd also like to thank Silverstripe. They allow me to do a lot of cool stuff and all that kind of jazz. But this talk's really about Minecraft. So what is Minecraft? But this talk is really about Minecraft or whatever. But what is Minecraft? Well, Minecraft is about 2 things mainly. The first is mining. So we could take this pickaxe and mine some of this gold. That's the one aspect of it. Ooh. The other is crafting. So we could take some of the wheat and we could make a nice big old bread roll. It's not all peaceful though. There are things like zombies. And other nasty things like creepers, which have a habit of sneaking up behind you and going hiss and then blowing up and destroying all the things around you. But what's interesting is redstone. In fact, most of this talks about redstone and the interesting things you can do with it and the applications of that. Now you can get redstone by going deep underground and mining it. Get a pickaxe, mine some of this, and this is what it looks like when you hold it in your hand. And you may be asking, well, why is redstone important? And to understand that, we have to go to programming. So come down here. Now you've probably seen code like this every day in the applications you write. This is an example of a simple if statement. Okay, and keep going through these signposts. Just walk in a straight line, I think. This is an example of an if statement. So, then I actually go into detail and explain a little bit about code. So I'll say something like, you can do if true, and only if that is true will it print success. You can combine these. You can say things like or, you can say things like and, you can even hold variables. And in the case of all the examples we're going to look at, variables are just simple Boolean values, true or false. Now if we look at combining those, well, you know, you can do this, you can do similar things, and this is code that you've seen and used. So how does it apply to Minecraft? Then I can go into a sort of flattish area and start. Also inversion. Also inversion. Okay. So how does this apply to Minecraft? Well, there are some things in Minecraft that we can use to simulate this logic. And then I can show switches and blank redstone, and active redstone, and lamps and repeaters. I could talk about signal attenuation, the behavior of redstone torches, and then what that behavior allows us to do. So let's make an AND gate. Make an OR gate. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that stuff, but I will talk about the battleship stuff. Battleship stuff. Okay. Sweet, so I kind of know what I want to say with this. And so I have to design some slides now. So redstone is interesting, but what does it have to do with programming and electronics? But what does it have to do this have to do with programming? What does that look like when it's registered? Rendered. Registered. What does this have to do with programming? Do I want to do like that? Yeah, sure. I think that's fine. So, do I want to start this with so? So what does this have to do with programming? So why does this matter? So what does this have to do with programming? I think that's fine. Okay, so what does this have to do with programming? Then we show some code. JS. If so this is a JavaScript conference I'm giving this at, and previously I gave this talk at a PHP conference, which is why my slide examples are in PHP. But anyway, what does this have to do with programming? Let condition is false, let condition is true. If condition console log condition is true. Bottom up. Like that. Oh, that highlighting sucks. That sucks. Starting with variable names. Conditions are a really trite example. Conditions are a really trite example. How can I make this more meaningful? Also, how can I make that font size bigger? Because it sucks. JS. Let predicate if condition engage. Is this the word I'm looking for? Containing a verb and stating something about a subject. Something which affirmed or denied concerning an argument of a proposition. Something which is affirmed or denied. Wiki predicate. In... Sure. Predicate logic. I mean, sure. Whatever. Generic term, symbolic, formal systems. First order logic, second order, many formal system distinctions. Blah, blah, blah. Commonly understood as a Boolean valued function called the predicate on X. I mean, sure. I don't know if this is the right function, to be honest. Right function name. It's so difficult not doing trite examples. Okay. If condition is check, if letter K equals check, if check, I mean, I could do like this. If check, something like that, I think. I mean, it's a trite example, but it gets the idea across, I think. Wrong. You can say, can I highlight this in any way? I mean, it seems weird not to have like a really big focus on this. I think it's okay. I think that's okay. Okay, so what does this have to do with programming? Well, let's look at some code that we may recognize from every day. Here we have a variable, and we're assigning the result of a function. We can imagine this function returns a Boolean value, so true or false, right? We can use that value in a conditional check, and if it's true, we can run the engage function. We can call the engage function. I don't know exactly how I'd phrase that, but anyway, we can call the engage function. This is code you're probably familiar with. Just to elaborate a little bit, we can also group conditions together to say if the condition is true and really bugging, then log a console message. Furthermore, we can take Boolean values and we can invert them with an exclamation symbol. So here, if the condition's not met and we're debugging, well, something is wrong, we can log that. Now these are all concepts. Okay, great. So great. Do I have the slide for redstone is interesting already? Do I? No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay, redstone's interesting. I have to put that slide in already. Let's get this window back up here. Thank you. Redstone's interesting. Three. Lots of screenshots on my desktop now. You should all be screen 2. So I'll just drag all of those off. Five, 06 redstone. It's interesting. I'm going to type this whole thing out. So what does this have to do with programming? Oh, and I spelled it wrong. Okay.